Good morning. Welcome to the Saturday morning ritual. I have a thing about habits. Habits. They fascinate me. Habits fascinate me. Welcome everyone. Welcome. Habits fascinate me. I've been married to my husband for like 14 years. The whole time, he has been trying to get me to not leave the cabinet doors open. I know, it's terrible. It's terrible. I leave them open all the time. And the funniest thing about all of it is that I was at my mom's house one time and he recognized that not only do I do it, but my mom does it too. So it's like hereditary. It's something I learned. Habit. It's a habit. It's a bad habit. I leave the cabinet doors open. He laughs at me all the time, tries to break me of it. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. But slowly but surely, I will break the bad habit of leaving the cabinet doors open. We're going to talk about habits today. I'm so excited. I'm so excited you're here. Welcome to the Saturday morning ritual. If you are new here, I am Deanna. I'm on the adventure of a lifetime to lose 100 pounds, and it's taken me quite some time, but I've learned a lot of valuable lessons, and I want to share them with you. I want to share my love and my passion and my curiousness and all of that with you. Anyway, so we have the Saturday morning ritual. And in the Saturday morning ritual is a safe place. It's where, really we can get together as, just a community to give support. It's a safe place, connection and belonging where we can influence each other and motivate each other. All right, maybe we'll learn something along the way. Maybe we'll share something that's going to really help somebody out. So I appreciate you all for being here today so much. Welcome, Misty. Welcome, Lori Ann. Welcome, everyone else who have joined us today. Again, I am so appreciative of you. So very appreciative of you. So I like to start every Saturday. It's a ritual. So we're going to do the same things every single week. It's my Saturday morning ritual. Get up and I walk the dog and all my other nice morning things. And I come here and do my Saturday morning ritual. So the first thing we need to do is, if you haven't already woken up your body, we need to wake up our bodies. So we're going to just freestyle it today. Do whatever it is you want. My knee is hurting me again, so I'm not standing up today. I am just going to stretch. I am just going to stretch. Did you hear my neck pop? My neck just popped. Just going to stretch. I've been doing this a lot lately at work. And it feels so good whenever you're sitting at your desk, whenever you need to take a break. You just lift your hands up and stretch as high as you can, and then put them behind your back and close them and just kind of arch a little bit. And then do it again, like a whole bunch of times in a row. And it just feels good. And it kind of like gets your blood flowing and just kind of resets me and it gets me, so I can do focus work again. I've been enjoying it a lot. Maybe you'll enjoy it. Who knows? And then once you get up, it's like, oh, wait, maybe I should get some steps in. So how are you guys doing? Are you guys in this steps challenge? So there are only 4 days left of the Derek's Journey Step Challenge. If you're new here, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe you do. I don't know, but I participate. And my friend Derek, he has a YouTube channel and he does these steps challenges. And I challenged myself to get 370,000 steps every single month for the year of 2023. 370,000 steps every single month for the year. Team Walkaholics, yes. You don't have to send in your steps today. Steps are not due until the 1st because it's like right around the corner. So you don't have to turn in your steps today, just to let you know. FYI, if anybody's thinking the same thing that Misty was thinking and thinking, I need to turn in my steps, you don't have to turn in your steps. But my steps so far, if this is synced, are not looking so hot. Are not looking so hot. 306,000 steps. So quick math, that's like 64,000 steps that I would need to get in the next 4 days. Thankfully, that is under 20,000 steps a day. It's doable. It's doable. I can still hit my goal. It is doable. It'll be hard work. It will be hard work. But we're celebrating. Oh my God, that takes us up, to the first part of the ritual. Well, actually, the second part of the ritual. My dog is whining. 1 second. Go on. Loki didn't want to celebrate his successes today, and he also messed up the bed, by the way. Just ignore that. We want to celebrate our non-scale victories for the week. Celebrate our non-scale victories. That's the second thing we do as part of our ritual, is we always want to celebrate our non-scale victories. And I don't think that non-scale victories always have to be weight loss related per se, because the reason why is I believe that it's not weight loss over here and the rest of your life over here. It is, everything kind of works in conjunction. Have you ever had a bad day at work and that correlated into a bad night as far as your eating goes? You didn't stay on your plan. You didn't eat what you thought you were going to eat because you let, your emotions get the best of you. See, that's one example of how I don't think that weight loss and life are separate. So even if you have a life victory, we're going to celebrate that still too. It's just not about scale victories, weight loss related victories, all the victories. Think about any victory that you had this week. Any victory that you had this week. I started off the week so well. My steps were just like, I was crushing it. I was ahead of schedule for the 370,000 steps. Ahead of it. What was Misty's success? Misty's success was continuing to move and work out through. She's just a trooper, man. This girl just, if they could bottle up what she has and sell it, it would make $1 million. It really would. She is like strong. She is like determined. She's badass. That's what I say. Nowhere near my normal workouts, but the movement, it really does help. Even if you can't do your normal workouts, a little bit of something goes a really long way. It so much does. Hello, and welcome. So glad you made it to the Saturday morning ritual. Yes, very excited. So it's very important that we celebrate our non-scale victories as we look back at the past week. Discipline, that's a victory. Having that discipline is such a victory. And having it as routinely as you do is just an amazing skill that you have learned. Like, amazing. Awesome job. Yes, good morning. It's a beautiful morning today. So we're talking about our successes, the fun successes that we had. My steps were a huge success this week, but I did have more pitfalls than I would, I've learned something huge this week. And this is my pitfall that I learned. Let me know what your pitfalls are. If you found yourself trapped in the quicksand for whatever reason, don't be shy. We can share our pitfalls. By sharing them, we can also let go of them. So we want to share. My pitfall. I have to set boundaries for myself. Oh my God, I've been talking about boundaries a lot this year, about how I need all these boundaries. It's me. I need a boundary against me. I find a project that I want to work on or something that I'm really like excited about and I'm so wanting to do it and finish it and get it done that I will work my little fingers to the bone and I will not get up and move. If it's like a craft project or a computer project or something like that that doesn't require much movement, I'll just sit and do it and lose all track of time, all track of time. And that's what I did this week. I was working on this huge project that we're going to talk about later in the day. And I was just having so much fun being creative and using my energy in that way that I missed my bedtime. I was late for work. I was working on it on my lunch breaks. Like I was obsessed with it. I was so excited, so excited. But that was my pitfall. So I'm going to have to set a boundary with myself. I'm going to have to set a strict rule regarding I can't do that anymore. It's not helpful to me. It's not beneficial to me. I know that I love it. I know that I enjoy it, but I just can't do it. It's just not good. It's not a healthy way to be. And that's not who I, want to be. That's not who my future self is. That's not who I am. I guess it is who I am because that's what I did. But it's not who I want to be. It's not a way, I don't want to keep repeating this over and over and over again. So learning from my mistake. Let's see if I can parent myself on this one. Let's see. We'll see. My pitfall is the same as you, Deanna. I even have alarms set to remind me to move and I will ignore them. Yeah, ignore them. Yes. I'm like, I need somebody to be like, no, like physically pick me up and move me away because it's bad. My husband got mad at me because dinner's ready and I'm just sitting there doing my thing, letting dinner get cold, whatever. It was not good. It was not good. Still on the struggle bus about several things, but trying to turn it around. That's what all we can do is try and turn it around. We got to try and turn it around for sure. For sure. So if you're a journaling type of person, which I am, I encourage you to just take a moment to write these down. Write down about your successes that you had, how it made you feel to be successful, if you were proud of yourself, if you were joyful, if it gave you a little bit of a spring in your step, if it made you just walk with a little bit more pride and confidence. It's good to bring up those emotions that we feel whenever we have those happy moments. It just reminds us that we can feel that way and that our actions make it happen. Nobody else, just us. What we do, our actions can bring on all those wonderful, happy feelings. And then also, our pitfalls. It's a good time to also think about those a little bit. What are we going to do differently? How can we handle it differently? Is there anything that we need to learn in order to get better at it? Is there anything that we need to do? Do we need, additional self-care? Do we need to challenge our self-talk? Are you beating yourself up over it? Are you telling yourself that you're less than in some sort of way? Because you're not. You made a mistake. You did something you didn't want to do, but you were not less than. You're just learning to be better than you were yesterday. That's all. That's all. Try to focus on breaks. Helps me be more productive. Notorious for just plowing through. Oh, I was so guilty of that. I'm gonna let it go. I cannot continue to do that. I have so many things that I want to do. I work 9 to 5 or 8 to 5 or whatever it is. I work full time. And then I walk dogs on the side. And then I have so many other things that I want to do for the Saturday morning ritual and all of these things. And I just get carried away sometimes. I get carried away. So we're learning. We're learning. Mm. The topic of the week, now that we are done with the negatives, we are done with all of, that kind of stuff. We are going to talk about the habit of the week. I posted earlier in the week on my community tab a little poll about what was my poll about? My poll was about habit trackers. And have you ever used a habit tracker? Let me know in the comments. Have you ever used a habit tracker? Let me know in the comments if you've ever done that. So the poll actually, let's see what the poll said. 12 people voted. Yay, 12 people. That's so excellent. 58% never have used a habit tracker. 25% occasionally used a habit tracker. 17% are with me, and they're obsessed with habit trackers. I adore. The closest you came was my last challenge. I adore habit trackers. I absolutely adore them. And if you're on my email list, you probably got an email late last night because yes, I'm obsessed and had to finish my project. But I was finishing up a new habit tracker. So with habit trackers, there are a lot of pros and cons that come with habit trackers. Some of the benefits from using them, if you read the email, I'm probably going to repeat everything that I said, but bear with me. You can get an increased awareness, motivation, accountability, visual progress, which I absolutely love, consistency. It helps with goal setting, tracking your progress over time. It helps you to form new habits. You can identify what your problem areas are, and it can also maybe be just an enjoyable ritual like the Saturday morning ritual. And then you get stressed and burnt out at the start. Things happen, your mindset is gone. Yes, that is one of the cons of a habit tracker. We can get too rigid. We can be too strict. We feel like it's like a taskmaster. It's something that we have to do like 100% and be awesome. It's yes or no. Can you check off the box or can you not check off the box? Did you do it or did you not do it? Don't break the streak. You have to be perfect. Cons, that's stressful. That's annoying. That's frustrating. It's, really saying, you got to be so good versus, the quality of being good when you are, good. Not to say that anybody is bad. I would never say that anybody is bad. It makes you not see the progress that you're making, and all you can see are these like gaps in your habit tracker. You can get caught up in like guilt and shame because you're not, doing the things, and it really gives like this all or nothing mentality, all or nothing. And I'm so against the all or nothing mentality. I'm so against it because nothing in life is all or nothing. There's all these crazy shades of craziness in life. So it's got to be more flexible. And I've always felt that way. I did a video on it back years ago in 2020 on the all or nothing mindset and how I think of it as more of a dimmer switch. Some days your light it's going to be dim and all you can do is get up and meander about the house for activity. And other days your light is going to be so bright that you're doing the most challenging activity that you've ever known to be able to do. And other days you're going to be somewhere in the middle. There's no yes, I can mark off the box or no, I can't. It's the shades. It's all these, different, you know, it's all different. Some days you're full and some days you're just a little bit empty. And that's why I did the something is better than nothing habit tracker. It was like April of 22, whenever I did the last habit tracker challenge. And it was the something is better than nothing because I think that doing something is better than doing nothing. But we can get discouraged. We can get stressed out. We can get burnt out. Your mindset is gone, just like what you said. And you just don't want to do it anymore whenever, it's all or nothing. But whenever something is better than nothing and you are adding up your wins, if you missed today, you're motivated to do tomorrow because you're adding up your wins. So I really thought about it. And the more I thought about it, I'm doing this whole thing. I'm going to have a spreadsheet and it's going to be where you can actually do it on your computer if you want, but I've still got some things I'm finishing out on that. But for now, on my website, adventuresofdeanna.com, in the download section, it's called a consistency scorecard because I thought it really wasn't a habit tracker anymore. I decided to rename it and call it a consistency scorecard. Consistency scorecard. Let me know. What do you think about the name of the consistency scorecard? What do you think of the name? So, the consistency scorecard. I want to show you guys kind of what that is. And of course, why would I open it before I get on the live stream? But that would make sense, but now wouldn't it? Why would we ever think of to do something, ahead of time? That's just crazy talk. Where are you? There you are. Hello. So I am going to share my screen and show you the awesomeness of the consistency scorecard. One second. Because you like the name because you like consistency. That's what I thought. I like consistency too. So I thought it would be really nice to call it a consistency scorecard because really it's just tracking your consistency. So the download has 10 weeks of pages. They're all the same really. So you could just print one or you can not print it at all, whatever you want. But look, 10-week habit tracker. Nope. Consistency scorecard. Consistency scorecard. Something is better than nothing. So here it is. The whole idea is we're going to track our habits. So yeah, it's kind of like a habit tracker, but it's a little bit different because here in these columns here, we have goal 1, goal 2, and goal 3. So this is an example of if I was tracking my personal habits that I wanted to track. So I'm tracking my calorie tracking because that's something I do. You don't have to calorie track. So down below, you're going to see that you can fill in your own habits. You can make your habits what you want them to be. They've got it. No two people lose weight alike. Everybody's different. You've got to find the habits that you're working on. What works for you? What's important for you? What is going to give you that, needle to move on the scale? Those are the habits you want to track. So for me, calorie tracking. For the first time ever, this is huge. This is huge. For the first time ever, I'm going to be tracking how much protein I eat. I've never tracked. How can that be? How can it be that I've never tracked my protein before? Insane. My journaling, water, exercise, and sleep. I think that those are the keys to weight loss. That's what I believe. If you believe something else, that's okay. You can believe differently than me. There's nothing wrong with that. These are the things that are important to me. So I've broken it down into each habit gets 3 categories. So the 3 categories, I keep moving the wrong way. The 3 categories are, for me, one that is like really easily doable. Like there's no question that I can do that. The second one is more of where mostly I would fall. Like that's where I'm going to hit most of the time. I can always track my meals, 2 meals a day. That seems like really easy. But the third meal always like, oh no, I forgot, or I didn't know the calories. Or there's always something that comes up, um, whatever it may be. And the third one is what I'm working for. That's like my level up. That's how I'm trying to get better. So with my protein, for me, because I've never tracked my protein before, I have no idea how much protein I eat. I broke it down into, I'm going to get 50 to 125, what is that, grams or ounces? I don't even know. Protein per day. If I get between, I made a mistake and I've got to fix that. It's supposed to be between 50 and 100, 100 and 125, and then 125 to 150 would be level 3 for me, for my starter week. And then we'll go up grams. Thank you. And then we'll move on. We'll upgrade it from in the following weeks, depending on where I hit. So with my journaling, I'm breaking it down again into 3. I get 1 point if I write 1 line in my journal. I get 2 points if I write a whole paragraph, and I get 3 points if I write a whole page, because I believe that journaling is beneficial to my overall mental health. And when my mental health is good, I do good. Fact, something I've learned. So with water, I have broken it down again into 3 buckets. If I drink 64 ounces of water, very easily doable for me, I get 1 point. If I drink 96 ounces of water, I get 2 points. And if I drink 128 ounces of water, I get 3 points. Exercise is going to be the same way. So this exercise does not, for me personally, everybody has to set their own rules. You're going to look at what is right for you and make your rules for you. It's not, none of that's, 75 hard where they tell you all the rules and that's what you've got to follow. And if you miss a day, you got to start all over again. No. Something is better than nothing. So with exercise, this is really talking about strength training for me, doing any kind of resistance work or strength work. That's what, for me personally, if I do 5 minutes, I get 1 point. If I do 15 minutes, I get 2 points. And if I exercise for 30 minutes, then I get 3 points. If I exercise more than that, that's just good for me. Because sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. You never know. And then my sleep, 6 hours of sleep, 1 point, 7 hours of sleep, 2 points, 8 hours of sleep, 3 points. I am normally like a 7-hour sleep most times. Sometimes I get like slightly under 6, like 6 hours and 45 minutes. And I get mad because my work program, I get points for my sleep there too. And they give you better points for 7 hours of sleep. So I get mad all the time because I'm like 6 hours and 45 minutes. How dare? Okay. So each day at the end of the day, so this is a sample one. It's already filled out. The whole week was already done. And it's got all the points that the person got. At the end of the week, it tells you what your score was for the habit. You can calculate it. So on the next page, you're going to see it's got instructions on how to calculate your That looks pretty ugly. What happened there? Um, anyway, it's got how you can calculate your habit score. It's got how you can calculate your daily score. Um, all of that fun stuff in there. How to do the math on that. But at the end of the day, just write down maybe even 3 times a day. Make it a ritual after every time you eat. Put down your points. This is where my points are for right now. You can just do it like with a tally mark instead of a number. You can do it however you want. You can just color in the box if you want to. I don't know. Do it. Figure it out. Do it how you want. But the most important part of this, the whole thing, is that there's no yes or no. You're not good or bad. You're not on or off. You're somewhere just seeing how you did. You're just getting a score at the end of the week. We are not going for 100%. 100% is not the goal. It's just to see what your score is. It's just to notice what your score is. Because you want that 3-star thing, you want that 3-star goal to be what you're working towards. Like, I can't do that all the time, but some of the time I'm good at doing it. So we're not gonna get 100%. It's okay to not get 100%. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? It's okay to not get 100%. It's not the goal. The goal is just to fill it out. So there's a notes section. One thing that a lot of habit trackers are missing is a notes section. I fill it out, yes or no, black or white. I did it or I didn't. But there's no place on there for me to put to put why I didn't do the thing, why it was a 1, why it was a 3. There's no space. There's no space. I've been using this one. Well, I stopped using it on the 20th. But anyway, I've been using this one with Silk and Sonder for the last year. There's no room on this page for notes. No room for notes. But my notes might give me some insight. I was supposed to exercise at 7:45 in the morning, but somebody from work texted me early, so I started work early. I was going to drink my water, but I forgot my water bottle, and I don't like the water at work. I was going to have XYZ for dinner, but when I got home, my kids had eaten it, and I didn't have a backup plan. I couldn't sleep because my neighbors were loud, so that affected my sleep. I didn't get my protein in because I didn't buy enough at the grocery store. Whatever your notes are, you're going to put a note in. Whenever you get like a 0 or a 1, if you get a 2 or a 3, you just make notes whenever you feel like you want to make notes. That's the whole thing. You make notes when you want to make notes. But at the end of the week, you're going to take a look and you're going to say, hey, based on the above, what can I do differently next week? So if you weren't happy with a 43% score in one of your habits, or a 48 or a 52, whatever your score was, you can think to yourself, what changes can I make? You can also see if there's like a pattern showing up in your life. When you don't get enough sleep the next day, are you hitting your exercise target? Are you hitting your water target? Are you hitting your other targets that are important to you? They work in conjunction. There's the ripple effect. When you throw the rock into the water, it's the same thing. One little thing can affect other things, and you might notice a pattern, but if you're not tracking it, you don't have any awareness of it. Some magical people do. I love you for being able to do that. Not me. I can't see it. So this will help see. You can get a daily total. You can get a total by your habits. You might notice that Saturdays and Sundays are your worst days. What can we do differently in order to make Saturdays and Sundays better? Maybe Wednesdays are your bad day because you have book night with the ladies and you're tempted by all this stuff. Which habit is the worst habit that you think that, maybe if I could just really focus on improving my score on that one habit? Maybe you only want to track 2 habits because if you've never tracked habits before, 6 habits might be a lot to track. Maybe you only want to track 2. That's fine too. You've got to do what works for you. If you've never tracked your habits before, I really think you shouldn't track more than 2 or 3 because you should just get used to the practice. You shouldn't overwhelm yourself with tracking too many things at once. Hell, the act of tracking habits is a new habit. Maybe you just give yourself some points for that. Maybe you give yourself some points for that. Who knows? Who knows? So, if you go to the website, adventuresofdeanna.com, you download the thing, you fill out all 10 weeks, you're going to go through. So the whole reason for 10 weeks, this is a pivotal moment in time. And I wish I would have, had this all together sooner because we are at the trifecta of holidays. The trifecta. Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Is it a quadfecta because we got New Year's too? We've got all the things happening. And it's the important time for us to really know that something is better than nothing. Doing something. So many people will quit on themselves and think, why do I even try? Do you know that could even be a habit? Do you know how many people find themselves in the same habit loop every year? And they get to this time of the year and they give up on themselves because they think, what's the point? The point is you can do a little bit of something every day. That's the point. That's the point. We're learning, we're practicing, we're getting used to it. We're developing skills. So if we scroll on down here to the very end, if you got a lot of time on your hands, you can do this all on one day if you wanted to. This little handy sheet here kind of gives you an overview of the whole entire month. So you can see week 1, week 2, week 3, on and on how you did. And you can kind of compare how it went over time. You might want to shade certain holidays that that you're going to have challenges. You might want to shade those a different color or something, knowing that, oh, well, that was bound to be a bad day. I also want to share different screens. So 1 second. So this is kind of what it looks like whenever it's done electronically and it calculates everything for you. This will be available later, but it's not available today. But look, it's got, hey, watch out. These little like yellow, I don't know, maybe I should make it bigger. These little yellow exclamation points, and then green check marks for the 3s. And then on our 0s, we get these little red X's because we didn't do anything. It gives you what your score was for the week because you get a whole weekly score. So that whole week you got an overview of a score and then your daily score. It's got it all. It's got it all. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the best consistency scorecard. I think it's the best because I made it. Of course, I think it's the best. I'm really biased. Really biased. But then you can see you've got results by habit that you can look at, kind of see where you were overall. kind of like, I don't know, for people that are data nerds, if you really get into this stuff, who knows? You can do something like that if you wanted to with all that data. Wow, that's a lot. Who knows? Anyway, I think it is so much fun. We've got the trifecta of holidays, and I don't think that there could be a better time to ditch the all or nothing mindset and go with a consistency scorecard. Again, there's just all the benefits of doing a little bit of something. Something is better than nothing. There's just keeps you accountable. It keeps you consistent. It keeps you a little bit more motivating versus getting demotivated when you see that you broke the chain. You can monitor your, just monitor your habits as they unfold and get those notes that are really going to help you to think about what it is that you can make changes. So I'm going to go back to weight training. It has been, I go through like streaks where I'm like totally doing it great. And then I fall off and then I'm back on it again. And I have to solve for this. There's got to be a solution. And as I've been tracking, writing down notes, what was I thinking? What were my reasons? What were my stories I was telling myself? What were my excuses? A lot of times it just comes down to I need to plan exactly what workout I'm doing the night before. I need to have it set up and ready to go. And I need to do it first. Right now, I'm trying to do it in between other things that I do in my morning routine. I think I just need to get it done, do it first. It is done. No excuses. That's what I'm going to try. And I'm hoping it's going to work. But through reflection, through the habit trackers, that's really what, it's like, come on. There's something you can do. I love to be solution focused versus always thinking about the problem. What is there? There's got to be a solution. There's always a solution. Let's figure it out. I'm smart. If not, I've got a lot of smart friends. If I don't have the answers, I need to ask somebody for some help, for some support, for some assistance, for some accountability, for who knows what. But I'm not in this alone. That's why we're here gathering Saturday morning ritual. We are never alone in this. And that's so awesome. So awesome to not be alone. None of us are alone. So we're going to do the something is greater than nothing habit tracker. Did you guys know? Oh my gosh. Did you know next weekend I have to change my clocks for daylight, whatever thing? I got to move my clocks back an hour. Do you know when a good time to make a change to your morning routine is? When you change the clocks back an hour or move them forward an hour. Because things are a little out of whack. They're out of alignment. Things are not on autopilot as much as they are once you get acclimated to the time change. So it's a really good time to make a change. Does anybody here get started early with the time change? Does anybody practice just getting up earlier or sleeping in later, depending on the time of the year that it is? So I have learned that it is so much easier to get acclimated to the time change if I start the week before. I have pets, and I don't know about you, but my pets, they know what time it is. They don't have a watch. I don't think they can read the clocks, but they know what time it is. And they will wake me up. They know, hey, Mom, you're supposed to be feeding me now. It's time to eat. Time to get up, mom. My pets know. So it's helpful for me to start training them the new schedule a little bit early. So that way I can think about it in a half an hour versus the time change of a whole hour. So I just practice with the half an hour. Then when the time change hits, I do the hour. It's only a week, but I think it helps me. I think it makes it easier for me to get acclimated to the change. And I like my routines. I like my rituals. I like my, habits. It makes life easy. Makes life easy. And I want life to be easy. Ah, mmm. Oh, I love that. I like morning workouts for that very reason. Motivated and move more during the day if I started with movement. You like that idea of a little practice week? Just, we're gonna call it daylight savings light, I guess. What's a clever name for that? Anybody got any good ideas? We should trademark it or something. I always think that's funny about pets. I have to make mine get out of bed. I'm always up and moving around while they're still. Never, never. Loki doesn't sleep. Today I had the cats waking me up. It's so much fun. Anyway, I'm just so excited about the new consistency scorecard. Please let me know if you try it out. Let me know if you how you go with it. I am starting mine tomorrow, and so that I can report next week on. Maybe I should start it today. I'll start it today. I'm going to start it today. And that way I'll have a full 7 days. And then next week, I'll make it part of the ritual to show you guys how I did on my scorecard. Won't that be fun? It'll be exciting. We can all share what our scores are and stuff, or not share. It's up to you. I can't force you. Well, maybe I could, but I can't. Sorry. But it'll be fun. It'll be fun. I hope you guys participate. I hope you guys would give me any feedback that you have about it. If you like it, you don't like it, blah, blah, blah. The lines are too small. The lines are too big. And it's just, you're just helping me out. You're not criticizing me. You're just trying to be helpful and kind to your friend. So I appreciate it if you do give me any feedback. Before we go, we have to plan the week ahead. So we've been talking about that kind of. We're talking about the time change. We're talking about using the new consistency scorecard. It's so exciting. So actually, that's a big thing. We're going to be using this new thing. Maybe we're tracking new habits. Did you figure out what your habits are that you're going to track personally? Maybe you're going to track some of mine, but maybe you have some of your own habits that you want to include on there. Yay, she downloaded it. Woohoo! Did you think about the 3 different segments? Because it's really important that we have the 3 different segments. Very easy to do. I think I can mostly do that, and then kind of challenging. And as we go through, then we can level up. So if we find out that we're really good at something, maybe we can make it a little bit harder. And if it's super easy where you're always doing it, it doesn't belong on your habit tracker. If it's something really easy that you're always doing, it doesn't belong on your habit tracker. So think about our habit tracker. Now think about, okay, what do I need to plan for now that I'm setting the intention to do these things? I don't have to be perfect. Remember that. The key is not to be perfect. The key is just to do. Now that I'm doing it, is there anything I need to do differently? Is there anything? We're making a plan for the week. Making a plan for the week. Plan out our foods. Plan out this time of year. My gosh. It's busy. It's busy. We're all busy. We've got so many things to do. Think ahead. Try and think about, is there going to be any surprises that we need to be prepared for? I know that in my job, there's a lot of extra entertaining that's going to be going on from now until the end of the year. So I need to be prepared for that. All kinds of things. The change in the weather, is that going to affect how you feel about eating certain foods? Is it going to change maybe your cravings? Do you need to think of different things to eat that are within your particular way you eat that, feels really good to you? Are there going to be changes that you're going to need to make because of that? We just need to just take a moment of reflection, take a minute to think about what's happened in the past. Maybe think about things that were, trip you up. What can you do differently with those? Planning ahead, definitely. Lots of planning ahead. I love it. Planning ahead it's just failed plan, you plan to fail. It's just that easy. Just make a plan. Things don't always go according to plan. Don't be, mad at yourself if things don't go according to plan. Life happens. That's the whole point of life, is for it to not go as planned. Really, they're like, just whenever you think you got everything all figured out and it's going great, life says, yeah, but how about this, and throws something at you, right? That's why I think weight loss can be so hard, because we're always dodging all this stuff that life is throwing at us. We're learning skills, getting stronger every single day, getting better, more awesome. So we have done our daily ritual. It was a pleasure to be with you guys on this lovely, lovely Saturday morning. Actually, it's not that lovely here at all. It's gray and dark and cold. I took Woogie for a walk this morning and just a hoodie on, and I froze. I was so cold. I'm like, come on, let's run. It's so cold. Anyway, that is all. I hope that you guys are just consistent. I hope you have a great plan for the following week. I hope to see you next week, because I want to hear all about the consistency scorecard. It's going to be an adventure, and it's going to be fun, and we're going to do it together. And I am 75. It was like 40. 75. Yes. Have a great week, everybody. Have a great week. Remember that something is better than nothing. We're always capable of making the next best decision. Use the scorecard. Be curious about why you got a 1 or a 0 or a 2, and write it down so that you have that information to reflect on next week. So we're going to have fun with this. Okay. I will see you guys in the next video. As always, it's going to be an adventure. Thank you for being here. I love you.